Hey everybody, it's Dennis and I'm here today and we're talking about six-figure income for online instructors, and today I have Joe Parys, who I've known for actually quite a while now, and I've been following his progress on Udemy, Skillshare, and just online learning in general. And so I thought I would have him on today because he's got a new program that we're going to talk about. And he has also just kind of progressed over the months that I've known him. So I want to talk about and share his secrets. So, hey, Joe, welcome.
Hey Dennis, thanks again for having me. And it's so crazy. We did an interview about a year ago, and it's amazing how fast the time has gone. But this is awesome that we're doing a little follow-up here again, and I really appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's nice to have you. We were just talking a little bit before we started, so hopefully everybody can see me well. We've got some snow out here. It is winter in Idaho, and we did have this chat almost a year ago, so it's kind of interesting to see the progress. And Joe and I actually got to meet in person at Udemy Live back in June of this year. We got to sit together at the dinner table. I think it was Saturday night. He was to my left, and Dennis Yang, the CEO of Udemy, was to my right. So that was kind of a interesting night. So maybe we'll talk about that a little bit. But hey, why don't you tell everybody, when did you start teaching online?
So I started teaching online. My very first course came out January, I think 12th or 13th, somewhere around there of 2015. So it's almost been 2 years to date since I started, and it's been quite an epic journey. But yeah, you mentioning even the Udemy Live thing and how we sat next to each other and got to speak and be really right next to have dinner with Dennis Yang,
Mm-hmm.
the CEO, was a very special moment. But no, I started about 2 years ago, and it's amazing how fast that time has gone. But some amazing things have happened, and I created a holiday video 2 days ago, and it's amazing to see the growth of my academy and everything that's happened online. So very excited, and yeah, it's crazy just to look back.
Yeah, and I really like how you do that with the videos where you kind of recap what you've done. A lot of it was in Vegas, and then some of your experience when the Cubs won the World Series. You live in downtown Chicago, and you got to go down and see all of that wild, crazy crowd and all of that. So I thought that was pretty cool how you do that. And I definitely would recommend that other instructors do stuff like that because it makes it personalize, makes that connection with your students and other people, that we're not just online instructors, we're people who are have this journey through life and our experience with online teaching. So hey, why don't we go ahead and talk about, you added me to this Facebook group and I was kind of like, what the heck is going on here? So why don't you explain what you are doing and what you have coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, so for 2017, I'm always trying to expand and grow and push myself to whole new levels. And I've gotten involved with a goal that I set last year. And literally, I set the goal to become a six-figure online instructor. And at the time, I think I had earned right around like $25,000 my first year, somewhere around there. And last month, I actually exceeded my goal, and I did become a six-figure online instructor. And I'm going to be creating a whole video and a whole new goal-setting video for 2017 on January 1st. So today is the 26th of December, so stay tuned for that. But it was really incredible that that goal came true and then some. It's amazing to look back at where I was there, and I think I had like 50 or 60,000 students, and now I have more than 185,000 students in 200 countries all over the world, and an amazing team of co-instructors who have helped me get to that level and helped me build the academy. But I'm starting a program called Become a Six-Figure Online Instructor because I really want to inspire people to reach that level. And I think it's very attainable for anyone who goes through my program. In fact, that's the whole goal. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of energy, effort on everyone's part. But I put you in the group, but I put some other six-figure earners in the group already as well. And the whole idea of the free Facebook group is to share our knowledge. And I'm going to be doing hopefully weekly, if not bi-weekly posts where I'm sharing my own expertise of how I've become a six-figure online instructor. I'm going to be interviewing other six-figure online instructors and beyond, and we're just going to have some really great conversations. And from there, I'm going to talk about my program. And it's going to be a program where it's going to be about 8 weeks. And in those 8 weeks, I'm really going to take people and transform them and give them everything that they need. There's going to be one-on-one kind of coaching and calls where I can literally focus my time on helping these people to the best of my ability. And it's going to be something that's more of a bigger ticket item to be involved with, but the Facebook group is free. And from there, I plan on just sharing videos, my expertise, and like I said, getting as many people involved. In fact, I sent an email out and I put some stuff on Facebook already, and I have more than 500 people that are waiting to get into the group. So I have to go through and make sure that they're a right fit, and really just kind of make this a fun little challenge, and also inspire people, because my inspiration has come from people who have been successful teaching online. And it wasn't even really about the money, but it gives us a goal to shoot for, right? It goes, okay, look, this is my focus. I want to focus on becoming six figures, okay? And now for me that I've reached that milestone, we're going for 7. So it's going to be, there's a formula, there's a strategy to getting there, and I plan on sharing a lot of my insights on that. However, again, it's something where people who are interested in teaching online, I want to be kind of an inspiration, and also not only talk the talk, but walk the walk as well, and show my results, and really just kind of get people interested in becoming very successful and kind of doing what I do if that's what they want.
Yeah. And, it's like I've seen those results, and what I was, before when I was coming up with the questions for today's talk, I was thinking about when I first met you that you were asking me for advice, and now I'm kind of like looking to you for some advice, because I'm like, I'll admit I'm not like one of those that is quite at, not close to 6 figures yet, but I've had some success. I'm not specifically teaching online courses. I am, but I also focus on things like the affiliate program for Udemy, which I've had some success on. But I also struggle with procrastination, and I've got some health issues going on that prevent me from obtaining some of these goals that I have. And I have things, that I do, like write down stuff, and I brought a couple of things with me to kind of show. I got this right here, which is a book from Tim Ferriss, who I read his 4-Hour Work Week, I believe is what it was called. Yeah, 4-Hour Work Week. And then he's got the 4-Hour Body, Tools of Titans, were people that he's interviewed. And he had a video that a friend of mine here in Idaho posted on procrastination. And I think that that's my biggest struggle, and I bet that there's a lot of other instructors, people, and you might even struggle with it a little bit yourself. But, I have things like this where I've got my planner, and that was my planner for this year. I've got another one ready for this year where I can write some stuff down. And so that's why I'm kind of interested in, your advice from people like Phil Ebner, who has had amazing success. And I mean, in November, I saw that he posted in the Facebook group that he had done over $40,000 in just the month of November. And I was like, oh my God, it's like, that's what like I've done before in jobs and salary for a whole year. And so it's very impressive to hear that. And I know other Udemy instructors out there who, since the price change happened in April, are struggling, and they're a little bit down on online teaching and Udemy and stuff like that. And these are people who I know have it in them, including myself, to be successful. And it's just like connecting together with people like you and Phil, and you putting together this group. I think it's a great, and the mastermind group that we do. I haven't been part of that recently because I took a seasonal job, but I think it helps, like when we sit down and we talk and we hold each other accountable. So that's kind of like you know, what I'm looking forward. So you use goals. I've watched your course on that, and I remember you set a goal in that course that you were going to make $5,000, and that was like earlier this year in one of the months, and you did that. So you put your mind to it, and you talked about somebody, because you used to teach in real life and coach girls basketball, and you talked about this guy, this kid who set a goal at buying a new car, and he watched your course, and he was able to obtain that by learning from the advice that you had with setting goals. So I think that that's kind of neat. So, you know, how do you hold yourself accountable?
I think for me, and goal setting is extremely powerful. I bought into goal setting when I was back in college, and I had just a vision for just wanting nicer things in my life. I wanted to just travel, have freedom, and if I could choose to have, you know, nicer things, like I really wanted a TV and a surround sound system. I don't know, as a college kid, that's just what seemed to be cool at the time, right? It was materialistic, but you know, whatever. That's just what I wanted. So, you know, I was reading and studying and was figuring out that you know, there's certain formulas and there's certain things that you can do that are going to help you achieve the results that you want in your life. And what's really cool about this is there's these universal principles and laws that if they'll work for anybody as long as you understand them and apply them. So I started to just dive into this and was starting to get some crazy results. In fact, in my living room right now, I have a 65-inch plasma TV that I got in college and two massive definitive speakers. And they were extremely expensive at the time that I bought them, and I ended up making $33,000 in about 2 months during the summer of my senior year of college. So that's when it all kind of became real. I was like, wow, these results are just incredible. There's something to this. And it's so funny. I got a noise complaint a couple weeks ago for playing my music too loud, but it was kind of like a fun moment for me, because it's like, oh man, like, you know, I'm sorry, I turned it down, and I had no idea that it was actually that loud, but apparently it was pretty loud, and it was really neat because people come over and they'll be like, oh, this, you know, nice setup, blah blah blah, and I kind of like have a little smile because it's like they don't know what I went through to kind of get this, and there's a whole story behind it, and it's fun. But if there's anything I could say about the goal setting, it is, and I have a whole course on this, so I don't want to dive too deeply into it, is you're on the right track. Writing things down is very powerful, right? Like having one specific, clearly defined goal is way better than having 5 or 6 miniature goals, in my own opinion. So like for myself, I set a goal to become a 6-figure online instructor. So it was 100,000 or bust. Like that was where my focus was. And lo and behold, you know, day in and day out, like I didn't even have to really even, you know, do that much more. My mind was fixed on that, was focused on that. And I just knew day by day, course by course, little by little, I'm just going to, you know, keep growing and keep expanding and building. And I have the faith that one day it's going to happen. And that happened, I think it was November 29th. I still have the little screenshot on my phone that I crossed the 6 figures mark. And I kind of knew a month in advance that like I was going to get there, because I could just kind of tell by how things were going that I was going to hit it. But there's nothing more satisfying than you know, reaching a goal. And it took a lot of faith for me to do that, because I had no experience teaching online except for a year of like trial and error. I went to school for teaching, but you know, I had faith that these universal principles were for real. And, you know, I could really, whatever you put your mind to and what you're willing to work towards consistently, I think that's the key, is just consistently working at something every single day. Whether it's 10 minutes, whether it's 15, 20, because it all compounds itself. There's a book called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardley or something like that. I forgot his name. But his mentor was Jim Rohn, and this book is very basic, very simple. The way that he like breaks it down, it's wonderful. But he talks about like how he gets the results in his life, and it's just a compounding effect of how you know, just every single day, if you just keep after it, it compounds itself, and at the end, you normally get what you want. So that's kind of some advice, some of the motivation that's helped me lead to the results in my own life, and some of the things that we'll be talking about in the 6-figure online instructor group and everything else as well.
That's interesting. I brought that up. I'm bringing up that book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, and it's on Amazon. and it looks like it sells for, let's see, $10 on Kindle, and then $11 on paperback. Do you like, when you read, do you like reading on a tablet, or do you like reading actual physical books?
Yeah, my next little secret, I guess, would be Audible. So let me grab my phone here real quick.
That's interesting, because it does say, I think that they have it available for Audible. And,
yeah, so if I have...
And you're in your 20s, so you're a millennial, and it's kind of interesting, because I'm gosh, I don't even want to say like my age, because when I think about it, I'm older than you are. But I still read, like, I have like this book here. This is called How to Write Copy That Sells by Ray Edwards, and it's a physical book, but I think I prefer sometimes the Kindle, because as I get older with my eyesight, it's easier with the Kindle to expand the text, to be able to see better. So you think Audible is a good solution?
Yeah, this is like really crazy. But I watched a video on YouTube. It was like how to read like 2 to 3 times as fast, or like get more books in. And I'm just a big reader, because I know every single time I read something or reread something and expand my mind, my results change, and they change pretty dramatically. So I did get this book, and there it is right there on Audible, the Compound Effect. And I got a bunch of these books on Audible. And what's really nice is if I remember like having a commute, if I'm traveling, I don't want to have to keep like carrying and lugging around, all these paperback books. And I don't know too if it's a laziness thing, but it's a little bit, it takes more brain power for me to actually physically hold the book, turn the page, focus in on the words, compared to just hearing it, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think what's neat about listening to the book, and why it's even more engaging for me personally, is a few reasons. First, I can speed up the guy who's speaking or the girl who's speaking. And I normally do double or triple time, and that way I'm really able to fly through a book really quickly and also absorb the information. So that's a neat little hack that's really worked well for me. And also too, when the author is reading the book to you, there's a certain amount of emotion that's coming across, especially if it's the author who wrote the book. Sometimes they'll narrate it, and you can really feel what they mean by how they're saying it. And you can't get that same amount of emotion and feeling reading it yourself. I mean, it's just different. It's like it's almost having them like in your apartment or wherever you're at, like right there with you, explaining to you what's going on in the book and like why they wrote what they wrote. So I think that's a really engaging way to read books and get through books. You can get through so many of them. I read close to 1 or 2 books a month now, just by my commutes. I'll walk to, I have some office space, and I'll walk to work, and 15, 20 minutes later, I'll get through a chapter or 2, and a week or 2 later, I'm through a whole book. And so it's amazing how that right there compounds itself, right? It's like, I go through 2 or 3 books. That's how many books a year? 24, 30 books a year. Sure. Imagine 2 or 3 years, 60 to 100 books. It's amazing how much different your mind is, playing with different ideas. And you try this, you do that, you get different results. You keep going, and that's how I'd definitely be able to get to 60 courses and 185,000 students, and now creating this masterclass program. So. Yeah, I would definitely say that's been very helpful.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, because, with the snow that we've been having where I live, which I was going to say that you mentioned this book, and that how Darren Hardy followed Jim Rohn, and Jim passed away several years ago, but he actually grew up here in Caldwell, where I live. Oh. And that's something that I found out by discovering him and following his quotes and his advice. So I think that that's neat that there's a connection to this book. But anyway, with the snow, it's taking me an hour to commute to the Boise area. And so instead of listening to music, I could be listening to a book. And I do that with a podcast when I would take my road trips. Like when I drove down to San Francisco for Udemy Live, or go over to Bend, Oregon, and Seattle, I've been taking a USB stick and loading them with a podcast and and doing that. And that's how I came up with the name for my book, Udemy Life. I was driving back from Bend to Boise and listening to Side Hustle Nation by Nick Loper, and listening to, I forget who his name is now, but he's a guy who talks about book publishing and stuff like that, Chandler Bolt, and was listening to the podcast and came up with the name for my book, Udemy Life, and visualized the cover, what I wanted the cover to look like and all of that. But I think that that's really cool. I wrote that down. I think I'm going to make this when we're done, my first Audible book, because you can also find links to get a free first Audible book. It's owned by Amazon, so there's a lot of books out there. So yeah, because otherwise, like, you know, like something like this, and then this Tim Ferriss book, I'm so bad at like finding the time to sit down and read that, or if I start reading it in bed, I fall asleep. So, you know, I want to be able to absorb that. So I think like doing that during a commute is a great idea. So thanks for bringing that up. And I totally believe in what you're talking about. For those who are instructors out there who are listening, this is one of the things that I have to force myself to do. It's not that difficult to release and have a goal of releasing one course a month. And it's not that difficult to, Joe does it a little bit differently. Joe like will find somebody who has a topic like where he might not be, that might not be his strong point or something like that. And so, but he knows enough about it that he finds somebody who's going to be efficient in teaching that course with him and bringing him into his fold of his academy, which is what he's doing. And that's really cool. He's giving people not only his courses, but other courses that they can learn by instructors that he knows that are good at teaching what they teach. And I've connected with Phil Ebner on ConvertKit because I knew that he knew ConvertKit well enough. So for me, it's a little bit different. I like to be able to connect with people who I know the subject just as well as I do, and create a course like that. But I need to do that more often, because what Joe's done is Joe's built up this large following of students just like Phil has done. And so every time they release a new course out on Udemy or wherever it is, then it doesn't take that many people to buy the course to make a huge impact on their income, which we know that it's done because Joe has hit 6 figures and Phil certainly is at 6 figures. So if you're listening to this, that's like my piece of advice, and I'm sure that Joe would say that too. It helps to have a lot of students to be able to market those courses to. So would you say that? Would that be the advice that you would give?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that when I first started on teaching online, the main strategy, and I'm going to be talking about this, but I can't emphasize it enough because some people just they don't get it as much as I really have kind of embraced this, is to give your stuff away for free. And like literally, I had this happen, I think, last month. One of my Android courses, it's a complete Android course, it was like 18 hours long in it, and it just wasn't performing as well as I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. And like I left the free coupon open, and I did some marketing with it, and just kind of was giving it away for free. I'm like, look, it's not doing that great, whatever. And somebody found it. I don't even know who it was. Found the free link, and there was a lot of free coupons in it. And literally, I think we had a rush of like thousands of students into the course. And what happened is a lot of people were engaging with the course again. They were giving reviews. Mm-hmm. And it is now ranked higher in Udemy's algorithm out of nowhere, really, all because I've been giving it away for free. And it's now my best-selling course for this month of December, which is insane.
So you just did coupons with that, or so it wasn't entirely free then?
Yeah. So what happened was there was a free coupon link with a bunch of free coupons in it, and somebody who had a very large audience or was just shared virally. It really went viral, and thousands of people enrolled in it, and it spiked up the kind of engagement and enrollment and reviews, because the course, I knew the course was great, because it has like 600, 700 reviews. There's like 20, 30,000 people in the course. Like it does really well. It just kind of plateaued a little bit, right? And
Hmm.
there's only so much, marketing that somebody can kind of focus on and do with a course. And it plateaued, and then it really just out of nowhere, because I gave I had a coupon open for free. Somebody found it, and it went viral. So that's kind of been my own little secret to success of getting to where I've been at with 185 plus thousand students is give it away for free. The majority of the students that I have, I've gotten my stuff for free, and that's great because it's built a following. I can now use that as leverage, and also if I ever do create a new course, which I plan on, I have that huge base to market to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if they enrolled for free, I can still send them an email, and if they go, oh well, look, I got this 17-hour course for free, I'll be willing to spend a little bit of money on a new course and check it out. And if you look at any of the top instructors online, they have a massive following,
Hmm.
and that is a little bit of a secret to success. But the way to get a massive following, if you start from scratch, because I started from absolute scratch, no email list, no following, no one knew who I am, is you give your stuff away for free. You're just very giving, and you give away good stuff, and you don't really expect a whole lot in return. Like don't do it of like, oh, I'm going to give and then I'm going to get stuff back. It should just be more like a genuine giving.
Yeah.
And now that I've gotten to this massive number, it's almost become overwhelming with the amount of free students. I might have to try something a little bit different come 2017. For my new launches, I'm going to try paid students only to see how that kind of catches. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to have more focused engagement in my courses. A lot of the free students will enroll and then they'll watch a video or two and then they'll fade out because they got it for free. I really want students to engage, to get something out of the courses, to really take the materials and work with it. And I feel that the paid students do a much better job of that because they're more invested, right? They got some
Hmm.
skin in the game. And so from that standpoint, coming in 2017, I'm going to be making some adjustments to the free coupons and the free students because I now have such a massive following and I can kind of continue to leverage that. However, I'm still going to be giving stuff away for free at times, just because that's who I am and that's what I believe in. So that's something that I would really, and I can't emphasize enough, especially if you're just starting, to really give your stuff away for free because it's amazing. It can catch fire, it can go viral, and that's what's happened to me. And call it luck, maybe, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. But I've left it open to just if anybody really wants to learn about this subject, and it appears to be there's a lot of people that want to learn on the subjects that I have. So that's another strategy that we could talk about maybe at another time. But
Yeah, I agree with you, like on the free content. Some people will say otherwise because they think that by giving it away for free, then you open yourself up to bad reviews. But there's going to be bad reviews no matter what, and you're going to have the good reviews, which are going to outweigh the bad reviews. Because for myself, when I go onto Amazon and I see bad reviews and I see good reviews, I can tell by like, okay, if they have a lot of good reviews, but maybe a few bad reviews sprinkled here and there, that this is just somebody that's having a bad day or something else went wrong, you know? And so I don't even think about like, oh, I'm opening myself up to bad reviews because I released that Paleo for the Holidays course with my friend Cheryl, and we weren't having that many people enroll as a paid course because, I mean, it's just a different type of course. It's a cooking recipe course and all of that. But then I said, hey, Cheryl, I'm going to set this course up for free. Now, the thing with Udemy is if you go from free to pay, then you shut yourself out of the promotional messages. But if you do it one time, you don't. So I turned it to just completely free with no coupons. And I looked at it the other day and I'm like, from 100 enrolled to almost 1,000 enrolled. And I didn't even do much promotion on it. And we had a couple more 5-star reviews. So here we now have this course with 1,000 people enrolled with solid 5-star reviews. And at some point, like let's say we get up to 10,000 or whatever, then I can switch it back to paid. And when we release our next cooking course, we have all of these good reviews and we have a course with thousands of people in it, just like what you're saying with your Android course. So I agree with you, Joe, on that. You know, you put good quality free stuff out there, and it's easy to get people to buy your paid stuff because they already say, hey, this Joe guy's got good quality content, a free course. I have no problem paying, like, you know, even if it's not the full price of the course and it's through a promo, you know, like a Black Friday promo for $10, that $10 adds up when you have hundreds of people buying your course at $10. So that's what I think about. I don't think about that, oh, I'm not going to get the $200 sell. I'm going to get hundreds of people signing up at $10, which is going to make the world of difference, because then when you release your next Android course for 2018, then all of those people are going to, and just the name of this book, the compound, what is it? Compound
Effect.
Effect, exactly. That's what they're talking about. It compounds itself and adds up. So, hey, I know that we're probably like getting towards the end of our time that we have to chat. So when can people expect to see this six-figure online instructor, and where should they go, like to sign up, or can they go to the group now?
Yeah, so right now I've offered a little pre-launch to the group. So I have, I think, 12 or 13 of you in there. And I have, like I said, over 500 people who are trying to get into the group. So in the next week or so here, I'm going to be putting some videos on there. That way there's already some engagement right when people come in and they kind of know what to expect. I have everything kind of in line. So my goal is to launch January 1st of 2017 with the group and just kind of fill everybody in. So right now we got a little pre-launch going. And if you're watching this, all you have to do is go to Facebook, type in become a, and then it's 6, like the number 6 dash figure online instructor. You'll find the group, and then you just have to apply. It's pretty simple. All you do is just click a button to for me to approve you into the group. And as long as you're not like a spam or a bot or something that's, you know, because you can see like the reason why I have that filter is because you'll get some of these accounts that have like 700 people, like 700 groups, and I'm like, okay, that's probably not a real person here. So I have that filter on there. But if you're interested in becoming a six-figure online instructor and building something really special, I'm coming out with an amazing program here in 2017 as well. So I'm going to be launching that. I'm going to be getting my first students in there. And the whole goal is to take somebody from zero to hero, to take them from zero income, or maybe they already have 50,000 in income, but to get them to 6 figures and beyond. And that's the whole goal of the program. It's 8 weeks. It's definitely a more expensive, higher ticket item. And if you're interested in that, first and foremost, join the Become a Six-Figure Online Instructor group. And from there, you'll find ways to get involved in the mastermind, in the big masterclass program itself. So that is going to be coming in the next week here. So by the time that you're watching this, could already be out there, but that's where I would go to start for sure. You can also find me on YouTube. You can find me on Udemy for sure. You can find me on Skillshare. And for the best place to find me as well, and I've just uploaded and created a brand new website, is www.joeparys.com. You can find everything there, all my courses, all my different stuff, blog. I'm going to be creating a podcast here, I think, myself as well, for Become a Six-Figure Online Instructor. That's something I want to do. You can find the program itself. So everything, if there's any like one simple solution that you can't miss, it's my website, www.joeparys.com. Will definitely be the place to be as well.
Yeah, he just redid that and it looks really nice. So make sure that you check out his website and check out what he's doing. I know that Joe's the real deal because I've known him for a while and I've been able to see his progress from when he first started, and we're going to upload the other interview that I did with him so you can kind of see things side by side and take a look at his progress. So hey, before we go, one last bit of advice for what one or two things can somebody do in 2017 to have the kind of success that you're having?
I think the biggest thing, and I know we discussed this a lot even in this interview, is to set a goal. What is it that you really, really want? And it doesn't matter how far-fetched it was or can be, because when I set my goal to become a six-figure online instructor, the real goal wasn't even the money, it was more the freedom and the lifestyle. And I've been so blessed to live right in the heart of the city of Chicago right now. I was in Las Vegas 2 weeks ago. I was in North Carolina 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I have a holiday video showing all my different travels. I was in San Francisco with you for Udemy Live, so I was able to do that. Where else was I this year? I was in Arizona, all over the place, and I think that was the main fuel, the main motivation, right? The money just kind of was there to help me on that journey. I was like, okay, well, I need the money obviously to provide these things, to be able to travel and do that stuff. But the main motivation was the lifestyle, and to wake up every day and go, okay, what do I want to do today? Right? What decisions do I have to make? And with that now comes a lot of responsibility. I have more responsibility than ever before. I have close to 200,000 students and all these courses and this new program, and it's crazy. But set your goals for 2017. Definitely do that and make it big. The next thing that I would suggest is probably just get started. The biggest thing for me was I took a month or two to kind of learn how to teach online, and I wish I just would have just dove right in. And I guess I kind of did to the extent of, I just bought a very, basic microphone. I used a PowerPoint presentation, and I look back at my course, my very first course now, and it's laughable compared to the videos and the things that I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But you just got to start. I think a lot of people will maybe watch this video even, and they'll go, "Oh, that was cool," and then they'll move on with their day, right? And just they won't even look things up. It just passes. And so, if this is something that you're really interested, get involved in the free Facebook group. Start learning how to teach online. Just start playing around. Buy a microphone. Like, just videotape yourself. Just like speak on whatever. It doesn't even really matter, because that, again, as we talked about with the compounding effect, every little bit adds up. So the two little bits of advice: set that goal, set it big. Really inspire yourself, push yourself outside the comfort zone, and then get started. Don't wait, because I'm so glad that I started when I did, because if I would have started a year later, I probably would have had half the results that I have now. I wish I would have started earlier.
I think that I think that you would. I think that you have it in you to have that kind of success. I was going to say, like this stuff is real, because we all start at different levels, and we're all at different levels in our journey. Because of just maybe who we are or whatever. Like myself, I did $1,400 in November with the website and my courses, and I know that I can do better than that, but I have other things going on in my life that I just need to just work on, and just fine-tune things. And like you said, like writing down those goals, I think my problem is that I write down too many things. What is it that saying or whatever? I just bite off more than I can chew, And so I need to lay out better plans or whatever. But what I was going to say really quick is I think that you and I and the other guys that do our mastermind group, we need to set a goal and go to Thailand next fall in 2017. That would be really cool to go, because I know that a lot of digital nomads hang out over there. But I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with this group. I'm looking forward to learning and also being held accountable and stuff like that by others, because I'm out here in Idaho, and there's other instructors around here, but still, unless you connect with people like Skype or like what we do with the Hangouts and things like that, then sometimes it's hard to have that accountability to push you forward. But we'll leave it at that. I'm going to plug DennisJSmith.com, where you can find this interview, and also onlinecoursecoupons.com, which is where you can find deals on courses. So Joe's, sometimes will put out a coupon, and other instructors like Phil, and I get the privilege of being able to help promote their courses on that website. That's one of the other things that I do. So look for onlinecoursecoupons.com and dennisjsmith.com. And anything else you have to say before we go?
Yeah, first off, I just want to say thanks again for doing this. And maybe
you're awesome.
Maybe we make this a yearly thing, right? Like we'll see
Yeah.
next year what the results are.
I think that would be a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess the one thing to just kind of wrap up is, to just keep pushing yourself outside your comfort zones and to really just be open to new ideas. I see a lot of people getting stuck, and they just kind of they're just not open to new things. And the biggest thing for my own success, I feel, is the reading of the books, and also just being open to trying and doing different and new things. And from there, you learn that some things work, some things don't. You fail, you grow, and we look forward to seeing you all in 2017. And thanks again, Dennis. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, you mentioned the books, but let's mention online courses too, because you can take those online courses and listen to them while you're driving. And with mobile devices and tablets with Udemy and Skillshare, you can watch those courses and learn just as much as you might learn by listening to a book. So that's my last piece of advice. Thanks again, Joe. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Everybody have a great day and a very successful 2017. Take care.
Yeah. Thanks, Dennis.
Yeah. Thanks.